Hello, Eight of Cups family. Welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot, and welcome to Virgo season, guys. We've got a lot going on in the skies this month. September is another intense month, although not quite as jarring and intense as August was. We are still dealing with the calamity of the things that occurred in August. You know, the Uranus station is still very prominent in our sky, as well as the second full moon in Aquarius. And when we move into Virgo season, and especially as we have Venus moving through the sign of Libra the first half of the month, our attention is really going to be turned towards our ability to have compassion. Now, looking at the current state of things in this world, and my condolences and my whole heart goes out to the troops that were sacrificed in Afghanistan, and praying that the rest of these people can get home safely. We kind of have to look at ourselves as a nation and as humanity and really lean on our ability to have compassion. Now, the tricky part of Virgo energy is to have compassion without judgment. And a lot of this month is going to be us being compelled to say, yeah, but they should have done this. Yeah, but they should have done that. And there has to reach a culmination point for us in which we can accept where we are right now and how to proceed. This is in terms of mundane astrology. This is in terms of our current conditions as a collective, and it also plays out in our personal lives as well. Virgo energy can make you feel the need to perfect everything in your life. And it's not a really healthy place to be. I'm allowed to say this because I'm a Virgo with the Virgo stellium, so I'm very familiar with where these perfectionism obsessions can lie in our lives. And quite honestly, when we spend a lot of time focusing on everything that is wrong, it's really hard to maintain that high vibrational energy that helps us to accomplish, that helps us to manifest, that helps us to bring peace into our personal lives, and therefore create peace throughout the collective. So it's a little bit of a duality. The good thing about Virgo energy is that it's always fair. And especially as we approach this new moon in Virgo and the full moon in Pisces, there's a lot of energy into our gifts as humans, into the compassion that we can have for other people, and our ability to put ourselves in other people's shoes and truly understand where they are coming from. And I think this energy will allow us to make some pretty big breakthroughs as far as dropping some of the animosity that we have and coming together for the greater good. Now, my hope in all of this, and what I truly hope we could all reach within the next couple weeks, at least the first half of this Virgo season, is the quality of time that we spend in our lives doing the things that we love with the people that we love. There's an emphasis on relationships here. There's an emphasis on the other people in our lives and the roles that they play. Now, I always look at Virgo season as so appropriate when we look at the way that we're developed, you know, the way that at least us in the Western Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere, you know, it's back to school time. So we're getting back into our routines, and Virgo really loves a routine. We're also probably, in terms of health, we're looking at the COVID variants, and, you know, there's probably a lot more fear amping up throughout our environments again. And so the Virgo energy can talk to you about getting right as far as your nutrition and taking care of your body, exercising, taking the proper vitamins, eating the right foods, eating cleaner foods, not relying so much on fast food. The beauty of the mutability of Virgo is that we're transitioning from one season into the next. We are transitioning from the fun and wild summer into a more sober and responsible time of year. But it's also a time in which we start to prepare for some of the more traditional sides of life, right? Now the kids go back to school, we start talking about schedules and plans and fall plans and what are we going to do for the holidays. And Virgo is all about the planning. So it's a great opportunity for us to get organized in our lives. It's a great opportunity to clean out some of the old stuff in our houses, in our minds, in our bodies, and to get a little bit clearer and stronger in what we want to do next. It's a great time to set goals. And because Venus is in Libra, it's a great time to implement friendships. It's a great time to say to your friend, hey, let's start a walking routine. Let's go for a walk 3 times a week with a best friend, because not only do we need that mutual companionship, but it also kind of helps to hold us accountable. So there's strength in that this month as well. Now we've got Mars moving through Virgo. This is a lot about the military stuff that's going on. You're going to see this playing out for a few more weeks. Of course, you're going to see this playing out for the rest of the year. But things will remain kind of in a heightened state for a few more weeks as Mars makes its way through Virgo. And then finally moves into Libra, which has its own set of interesting factors. But again, leaning towards companionship, leaning towards being fair to all and being honest. So we're looking at a couple more decent months before we roll into November and December, which again really pump up the anxiety, they really pump up the intensity. So I urge all of you, if you are able to rest in September, please do so. Please honor your body, honor your minds, honor yourself. It's a great time to learn to love yourself for where you are and what you have in your life, and be grateful, because when we're on the Virgo Pisces axis, this is all about the service that we do for others, the sacrifices that we make in the name of love, and what we are able to give. And so each of our attention should be put towards that in some way, whether we are packing lunches for our children or, just really enjoying our partners and our friends and the loves in our life, and cherishing those things and being grateful for them, being grateful for our homes, organizing them, taking care of them, closing up that yard work, getting ready for the fall. It's an amazing time of year, and I do wish you guys all the very best in the month of September, and we will get started with your monthly videos. Enjoy, guys. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot, and welcome to your cards for September. Guys, big emphasis this month on your 5th and 11th house with these moons. There's a lot going on here in terms of your potential. There's like this great potential for expansion in your life, and it's probably requiring higher levels of commitment and self-discipline. And then we have this full moon in the 5th house, full moon in Pisces, which is the softer side of life. And it could talk about the things that, yes, bring us pleasure, but sometimes can hinder us from the ultimate success. And I really think the overall message here is about you getting back on track. Now, I've been getting these messages very similar, and I kind of thought it would, like this whole axis of the zodiac is kind of going through this leveling up phase, and you are no exception to this. See, the thing is, Virgo season brings out this determination to succeed, to kind of clean up and perfect our lives. We can take a really honest look, and I love that we've got the 7 of Pentacles in the center of your reading. We could take a really honest look at our lives, and we could, assess what we want versus what we have right now. Okay, so I want that big corner office and that, 6-digit pay. Great. But am I living like that? Am I doing the things that I need to do? Is there courses that I need to take? Is there a change of mindset? You know, I mean, for some of you, this is like maybe somebody, for instance, like stumbles upon some Tony Robbins videos or something and just ultimately just gets inspired to change their life for the better, to know that they're capable of more, and to start really putting one foot in front of the other and doing those things in order to get there. Now, Virgo season is not inspirational, okay? Full moon in Pisces means we could take the inspiration we get, you know, be it a spiritual inspiration, somebody saying something to you. 11th house has a lot to do with friends. It has a lot to do with luck too, like being in the right place at the right time, somebody offering you an opportunity. But you know, if you're going to take that opportunity, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be cleaned up behind the scenes. So it's just such a beautiful time for the potential of expansion if you could hold yourself to a higher standard. Because Virgo wants you, it's going to really highlight for you where you could be held at a higher standard. Even looking at your day-to-day routines, right? We're going to be going through middle to the end of the month, all of these oppositions with Chiron, and you're going to see, you know, as everything moves through Libra season, you're going to see a lot of action there as far as ancestral wounds and things that you have to clean up and get over in yourself. And we have this card of ancestral wisdom, and I was kind of taking a look at like a reminder that Saturn and Jupiter there in your 4th house, both retrograde, right? Jupiter has a very short time left there. Jupiter had a big assignment in that 4th house, and it was getting you to see how you could break some of these ancestral cycles and karma. Okay, for some of us, if you look at the way that your parents live life, the type of jobs that they had, maybe your parents didn't pursue their dreams, they just stuck to, you know, what was safe and what paid their bills, which is perfectly fine. But maybe there's something more that you want. Maybe there's a bigger dream for you to chase. And that's really what we're breaking through this month and this year. And while Jupiter kind of wraps up his story, it's a time for you to really go after these things. Now, you are coming out this month as a Knight of Wands, and I love that because that is all about that divine inspiration. But Knight of Wands isn't exactly full of self-discipline, okay? So that's kind of my warning to you here. The Knight of Wands is a beautiful energy to pursue in terms of inspiration. You may be watching something on TV, like I said, a Tony Robbins video, you know, a friend turns you on to some kind of a spiritual practice, or somebody says, hey, you know, you would be really good at this thing. And you're like, oh my God, I never thought of that. And then, you know, one foot in front of the other, you start to pursue it. But the Knight of Wands can rush in, rush out. It can be really impulsive, and it could also be very indulgent. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about this month, is the overall indulgence. Here we have this card of laziness, card number 9, right? And this actually has 2 different meanings for me. Now, in both ways, Scorpio, I wouldn't exactly call you lazy, because you guys are capable of so much. You have overwhelming strength, and your environment, let's not forget, is the strength card, meaning that when you need to, when the time calls for it, you are absolutely 100% capable of doing the things that you need to do in order to secure security and success in your life. There's no doubt. The universe knows you have it in you. You know you have it in you. And yet we have this card of laziness. Now, I'm tying this card, laziness, over to the 6 of Cups. And I do want to tell you guys, you have 3 6s here. So when I see the amount of 6s, I'm always reminded that there's definite support from the universe, from the divine. You guys are fully supported this month. What you are capable of, you don't even realize. If you start to put one foot forward and apply yourself with that self-discipline, the universe is really going to open doors for you. As soon as it sees that you're ready to break some of these old cycles and move into the new energy, boom, one door after another, the right person comes in, the right thing comes in. But the problem is you have to be ready to make the moves. You have to be able to make the changes. And to me, in a lot of ways, the laziness is our comfort zone, right? Now I see he's kind of surrounded by this broken glass, which means broken illusions. This laziness is an illusion. Some of us, right? Look, it's been a long couple of years, right? COVID, and we're just finally being able to get out and be social or enjoy life or whatever it is that you've been, going through. But this is the epitome, or like that sobering moment of Virgo season. Kids are going back to school. It's time to go back to college. It's time to go back to work. We're wrapping up the pools and the beaches and the family vacations. And now it's time to get back to like our routines and schedules, right? Every Virgo season. And there's probably a part of you that's like, oh God, no, one more weekend, one more vacation, one more, and it's important to understand that the longer you stay here, the more you're stealing for yourself. Now, I'm not somebody to tell you that life is all about like hard work, because it's not. It's just not. But sometimes the universe sets up the planets in a way where now is a time for you to really put one foot forward and do the hard work, because it will pay off in dividends. See, I think this laziness card is a state of mind. It's okay if it's an inspiration or an ambition. I want to go out and conquer the world so that 15, 20 years from now, I'm living the good life. I don't have to do that labor job, or I don't have to, work all of these hours. Money will kind of make itself if I put in the hard work and discipline now. So that's what I mean about the duality of this card. Laziness is okay if it is an inspiration, if it is what is behind the idea of not having to struggle eventually. But you have to be able to put the hard work in now. So first row here, we've got the World card in reverse, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and the King of Pentacles. Okay, so much going on right here this first week. Now remember that as we start to go through the early parts of September, we're kind of dealing with a lot of these Neptune oppositions. The sun starts to move into Virgo, making an opposition to Neptune. And our realities can start to really shatter, right? And I don't mean that to scare anybody, but this is that sobering moment. And the World card in reverse to me is a reminder that there are some things that the universe is supporting you to step away from, and you may not be realizing that it's time. Okay, the World card does talk to me a lot about the ancestral cycles, the karmic cycles, doing things smarter, better, wiser than our parents did or ancestors. It's about not having to struggle through life, right? It's about taking advantages of opportunities that probably our parents and our ancestors didn't have. And we do. And yet we have this World card in reverse, and we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and this is like somebody who's not ambitiously going after their dreams. See, the Ten of Pentacles, it doesn't mean that you won't achieve this. It just means that you haven't started yet. And the World card in reverse, you haven't started yet. See, I see this King of Pentacles as being, again, a dual meaning kind of with this laziness. There's this innermost security, and because he's right above the Six of Cups, I think there's definitely a part of you that wants to be able to care and nurture for your loved ones or your families. Maybe that's part of this, because when we have a Ten of Pentacles, it really is about like your overall purpose, your legacy in this lifetime. What are you leaving behind? What are the opportunities you're creating for the younger generations? King of Pentacles, there's a want and a need to be fully in control and fully secure in your finances, in your stability. Like, this is kind of an inspiration in itself. So you are a Knight of Wands, but you're wanting to become this King of Pentacles, wanting to kind of have your own fortune. And yet, you haven't made the moves yet. You haven't started, because you're still in this Knight of Wands energy. You're still in the inspiration level. And the Strength card indicates to me that it's time to start applying that inspiration, day-to-day practices. Sign up for those classes. Go through your portfolio and your finances. Start to make decisions that will get you to the place that you ultimately want to be. If you're involved in a company and you know that you want to move up that ladder, you know you want a different position than when you're at now, then start letting that be known. Start talking to the people that you need to talk to and finding out what are the moves you need to make to get there. And apply the plan. See, underneath the World card in reverse, we have the Hierophant, and then we have this Six of Wands, which is ultimate victory. And the Hierophant is really your inner guru, okay? So seriously, when I tell you, like, if you're watching inspirational stuff like Tony Robbins or stuff like that, it's going to pay off in dividends because there's achievement, because this is your inner strength. This is that higher being. This is that voice in your head that says, yeah, but you know, you got to put in the extra work. And then you do it. And the Seven of Pentacles is a new plan. And the Six of Cups is a fantasy, right? To believing in the fantasy. The Hierophant believes in the fantasy. This isn't, it isn't impossible to be this. You are absolutely 100% capable of achieving this kind of success, this level of security in your life. And the universe wants you to, because he wants you to share this with the people that you love. See, you have things to give back in this universe. You have things or people that you want to take care of. You know, for some of you, you want to have children, or you want to take care of your children, or you want to make sure that you have what it takes to get them through college or whatever they want to do. For some of you, this could even be like some of those crazy fantasies, like, you know, well, I want to take this really, really expensive month-long vacation or journey in the next 5 years, so I'm going to figure out exactly what it takes in order to make this happen. This is the fantasy. This is the inspiration. This is you knowing it's absolutely 100% possible. And this is you applying the plan. Now, I love a Seven of Pentacles because it's slow moving, but it's strategic. Like, this is where we look back at our lives, like, again, like so sobering. And we're like, yeah, well, I need to do this and this and this and this, and I need to cut back here. And I could, you know, like, if this is in terms of a budget, like, this is you really looking at your finances and realizing that you're spending $50 a month on like bullshit apps on your phone you don't even open, right? Just getting organized. Now, a reminder that we have Mercury going retrograde at the very end of September, all through October, basically. But that means that he's going to enter his shadow around mid-month. So we've got all 6 outer planets and Mercury starting to enter its shadow by mid-month as all of that energy moves into Libra in your 12th house. Great time to assess. Great, amazing time to assess how you are sabotaging yourself. How do we save money better? How do we participate in our job better? How, you know, this is all about self-management and self-discipline. We really have a chance now to look at the changes that we need to make in our life. For some of us, it's so simple. Like, I know I'm guilty of this too. I could sometimes come home from work and have a million things I want to do. I'm going to work out. I'm going to clean the house. You know, I like all these big projects I have. And then I come home and I sit in front of the TV, right? But that is our way of self-sabotaging. It's not always necessarily bad, but this is just not the month to come home and sit in front of the TV. This is a month where you could really make things happen. 6 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 10 of Wands. See, the thing is, this thing that there's a cycle that you have to end. There's a bad habit that you have to end, represented by the 5th house, of course. Like, if you're somebody who just spends a little too much money, maybe there's some gambling issues, maybe there's some partying issues, you know, that could be seen in the 5th house. For some of you, this is kids taking advantage of you. It's time to turn it around. It's time to put a stop to that behavior. And the thing is, just like I said, all of this divine energy supporting you is basically you don't even have to do that much other than declare that you want these things to change. And the universe is going to just one by one support you and give you the tools and resources that you need to make that happen. Look, it's going to go really fast. This might seem like a mountain right now. Might seem like the impossible. But by the end of the month, things move so quickly that it's just simply over. And I really do feel like September is a month of completion for you guys. We're leaving something behind. Now, when I see a King of Pentacles and we have the second house owning card number 26, right? Breaking down to an 8, which is finances, second house, 8th house axis. We've got a King of Pentacles. This is about self-sufficiency. This is about doing the things on your own. Even if it's starting your own business, this is about securing the finances that you need in order to do them. This will and can happen if you give up any form of laziness in your life. You really have to set your standards super high this month, okay? It's not going to remain like that all the time, but this month in particular, it's so important. 8 of Wands, things are going to move so quickly because you find the confidence in yourself. This is like Scorpio waking up one day and going, you know what, I don't want to live in this town anymore. I don't want to be in this house anymore. I don't want to work this kind of job anymore. And you say it out loud and you do it. And you get in your car and you drive to work and you hear about another opportunity and you're like flying high because you see how much the universe is supporting you. They're like, finally, you figured it out. Finally, you figured it out. And then all the progress just pours your way. 6, 6, 6. Beautiful, beautiful omen of support and divine timing in your life. For some of you, I just want to throw this out here really quickly. For some of you, this can also be in regards to love. If you are staying in a relationship that you know is not going anywhere, okay? And we all know what those are, those situationships. It's coming up in a lot of my readings. Look, 4th house, Saturn, Jupiter. It's time to get serious about where we are emotionally. We cannot continue to hurt ourselves. So if we're getting stuck in situationships, if you're waiting for other people to decide that they're going to fall in love with you or decide that they don't want to be single anymore, like if that's what's happening, or if you're stuck even in just toxic and unhealthy relationships, like Knight of Wands, the chemistry is there, the sex is great, but do you see a long-term future in it? Probably not. You know better. Well, then why would you settle? Because this isn't a month to settle for the way that life is right now. It's not a month to postpone the big conversations. It's not a month to just see what happens. This is about making life happen for you. Now, it's not to say that you're going to break up with this person, right? It's just saying, I'm going to have the conversation and I'm going to say, hey, I deserve something more secure. I deserve something or someone that wants to invest in me long term, somebody that sees a future in me. And maybe for some of you, just by saying that, by putting that out there, because the Knight of Wands has courage. It's not afraid to say those things. Strength card, card of Leo, this is all about what your heart truly wants. And if your heart wants that beautiful relationship, then maybe just you saying that either puts an end to what's wasting your time or inspires this other person to step up and invest deeper in this as well. Remember, second house is all about your value of self. You knowing what you bring to the table, knowing what you have to offer, and knowing that if this person isn't going to make a long-term investment with you, that other people will. And if this is a love reading, then there does seem to be something coming in your future. There's adjustments that need to be made in order for you to open your heart to these beautiful new opportunities. Look, Scorpio, we could all be a little bit like, you know, I just want to kind of say bitter. And then we could find ourselves in our comfort zones, right? Like it's just easier to be single. It's just easier to be in non-committed, easy relationships, but what are you missing out? You're missing out on that soulmate energy, that ride or die energy, that really beautiful love that you probably do want in your life. And this is a thing that inspires you, you know, when you fall in love with somebody and it's the right person, they want to make you feel like you're being your best, right? And it's definitely indicated here that there could be a soulmate. Now, it could even be a child, right? Like, you want to be a better person for your child. You want to be able to leave them a better legacy. But it could also be another person in your life, a soulmate energy that comes in and inspires you to be the best and to do better. But it inspires you to drop all of this old emotional baggage, this 10 of Wands. You know, he's moving towards his castle. It might seem hard, but you're not afraid of hard work. 7 of Pentacles, you're not afraid to put in the time and the hard work. You're not afraid to have those conversations, to make those sacrifices, to compromise. Now we have this lay of the land, ancestral wisdom, card number 34, breaking down to a 7. 7 of Pentacles. This is where it's at this month. This is breaking those ancestral cycles. Look, it is big time pressure on. Jupiter will not be in your 4th house forever. Next year it moves into your 5th house, into Pisces, and it's going to be a lot of expansion and a lot of love. There's going to be a lot of love opportunities that start to pour in. So, or opportunities to have more children, you know, or just to be in the places with the people that you love. That's the 5th house stuff. So right now it's going to be getting your mind right, getting yourself right emotionally to open up to that. Getting out of bad dead-end relationships and being open to that, because it's coming, and the planets only have so much longer to start to make these adjustments. So the pressure's on for you to feel it. And I love this card that we got here. I'm going to kind of end it here. Cathedral of Notre Dame. The feminine divine is alive in all spiritual practices. Places of power remain places of power. I am full of love and tolerance. Okay. I can't say it enough. This comes in underneath the Strength card. And this, again, you are your own power. Scorpio, you know that. You know how powerful you are. 2nd house, 8th house, your axis, making your opposition to Uranus. You know your power. And you should be honored. And you should be in positions where you are honored. In the right relationships, with the right friendships, in the right careers, where people see your value for what it is. And again, all of those oppositions with Chiron mid-month, this is going to be an opportunity to heal yourself, to have compassion for yourself. See, we don't get here by putting ourselves down or saying, oh, we're not good enough, we're not capable, we're not smart enough. Like, that's not how we get here. We get here by discovering that we love ourselves so much that we want to do this for ourselves. You know, if you could see yourself the way that you could see a child, would you ever tell a child, oh, you're too stupid, you could never do that? So why would you say that to yourself? Instead, you want that child to know that they are capable of whatever it is they put their mind and heart into, and that they create their very own life, and so do you. And you should have love and compassion for yourself, and you should want more for yourself, because you deserve it. All right, Scorpio, I am going to leave it there. I hope that you guys have a beautiful September. This was a gorgeous reading. Please don't forget to like or subscribe, comment on the video. I always try to converse back with you guys. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great month. Take care.